Hi guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to be breaking down the different sun sign and Venus sign combinations, so it's a bit of a follow-on, a part 2 if you like, from my last upload of Venus in Sagittarius. If you're a Libra sun and your Venus is in Sagittarius, then we are mixing air and fire. We are mixing cardinal and mutable, and they are both male energies, so especially if you've got a male moon sign, then we are talking about someone that's got a more masculine nature. Now this is an interesting combination because Venus is the ruler of your sun sign and it's sitting here in Sag, so it's a complementary combination to talk about. Sagittarius is quite an overindulgent energy because it's Jupiter ruled, which is a very overindulgent planet, and Venus is also a planet that represents where we might overindulge in life. It's what we enjoy doing, it's where we want to relax and just indulge. So adding these two together, you might be a super indulgent person, basically. Like, you are here to enjoy life and enjoy yourself. With this combination, you might be quite an affluent person, or you attract affluent people to you, or it could be that you find different people from different cultures help you feel balanced. These are both male extroverted energies. Libra's the socialite of the chart, like the social butterfly, and Sagittarius is like to go out and have fun. So putting that together, you guys probably love a good social event where you can let loose and chat and conversate with a diverse group of people and who can explore different cultures and just expand your horizon. Because we are mixing fire and air, let's think about it. Air is about thinking and communicating, and fire is expressive as an element. This is going to be quite a communicative person, and Libra is typically known as being a little bit surface level, really. It's more so about the aesthetics, but having a Venus in Sag gives a lot more depth, a lot of spiritual depth, a lot of philosophical depth. They're just going to need deeper conversations. You're going to love to conversate and keep things light and social, but you're also going to love and value having depth and meaning behind those conversations. So in a relationship, there's going to need to be a meeting of minds, an intellectual connection, someone that can allow you time to think and to bounce your ideas off, basically. And because this is cardinal air, and especially if you've got, say, if you had your Mercury in Libra, then this is somebody that likes to see things from multiple perspectives. They can see things from more than one point of view. They have a really broad perspective on things and broad opinions as well. And one thing you guys probably don't like is somebody who is really opinionated and not well informed, because as a Libra sun, you're going to be quite well informed. You like to be balanced, you'll weigh things up, you'll think about things. So like here, this is quite a silly example, guys, a very silly example, but here's a quick one of what I mean. So I've got a friend who will remain nameless. We were having a little bit of a debate over organic food. I was basically trying to promote that organic food is better quality, for me personally, tastes better, it's cleaner, etc, etc. And she was saying, no, organic food, it's just a marketing thing, it's a waste of money, she doesn't like it, she doesn't even like the taste of it. And we were actually talking about carrots, specifically organic carrots, because I was banging on about these organic carrots I just had. And she's like, I don't like organic carrots. And I was like, have you ever tried an organic carrot? And she went, no. I was like, I'm sorry. You've been arguing this with me, like you've experienced it, so you've formed that opinion because you've tried and tested it, not just because it's something that you've just made up in your head. Silly example, guys, but I hope you get what I mean. Things like that are just going to do your head, and you're going to be like, go and learn. Get some real depth and then come chat to me. Cardinal signs are really good at getting things started, and the mutable energies are really good at coming in at the end of something and changing it up and getting it ready for something new. So one of your, maybe not your best skill set, shall we say, is going to be seeing something through to the end. So you're going to have all these great ideas, big visions, huge ideas. We're mixing cardinal air with the expansive element of Jupiter and Sag. So this is someone that can have a broad mindset, big ideas, but may not always be able to see things through to the very, very end. And procrastinators, both Libra and Sagittarius are notorious for being procrastinators. So you guys procrastination might be a bit of an issue. Somebody with this combination is going to really appreciate a relationship that allows them to have freedom, but to also have that intellectual stimulation and connection, because they need that perfect balance, basically, of a peaceful, harmonious relationship versus random excitement and having lots of fun. Basically, they need both those sides, and it could be a bit conflicting here, really, because you've got your Libra Sun that wants you to, that is relationship focused, let's face it, and your Venus sign is in Sagittarius, which is ruling your sun sign, and Sagittarius is about freedom, so it might be this balancing act of wanting to commit versus wanting freedom. But overall, this is somebody that can bring a positive outlook into a relationship and into love, because both sides have quite a positive outlook and quite a generous partner, because Libra likes to people please and Sag is quite generous. So you might be quite a generous people pleaser at that. If you're a Scorpio sun and your Venus is in Sagittarius, then we are mixing fire and water, fixed and mutable, and female and male energies. So we've got a perfect balance here of introverted and extroverted. Now, Sagittarius and Scorpio mixing together always makes for a spicy combination. Whenever I see a blend of personal planets in Sag and Scorpio when I'm reading charts, I instantly know that this person deals with extremes. They are not a stranger to extremes in life. Now, I'm the opposite way around to you guys, because I'm a Sag sun and my Venus is in Scorpio, so I relate to the weird blend of balance that these two energies are, because Sagittarius are known for being over the top and going too far sometimes, and Scorpio is known for being extreme. They deal with extremes, especially with it being your sun sign. And combining these two together, we have got somebody that has potential to be very extreme. It's an intense combinations of energies. Fire and water can make for a bit of a dangerous mix, because we're mixing the emotions with fire, the expression of fire. So fire burns, and Scorpio is also a Mars ruled sign, and Mars is the red hot planet that's about aggression, and it's the god of war. So when we are mixing two signs that are influenced by Mars, Pluto and Jupiter, these are all powerhouse planets in the sky, this can make for somebody that can have an explosion, a very extreme explosion. And there are some combinations that need more self-awareness than others. This is one of them. Self-awareness is going to be key here, because you know that if you don't control yourself, where you can go. Scorpio suns are notoriously known for expressing in a controlled manner, being controlled, being private, you know, not letting people know what's going on. When you've got your Venus and Sag here, it kind of changes things a little bit, because behind that icy sun is the hot, fiery nature of Sag. So if you want to go, you will go. And it's sometimes, as you are probably aware by now, may not always be the prettiest when you do lose control. Fire is passionate as an element, and Scorpio is super passionate as a sign, so mixing these together makes for a very passionate person, and this is the walking definition of somebody that needs depth. Both signs deal with depths, real, true, deep, hidden, taboo, worldly, higher knowledge topics all combined together. So in a relationship especially, they really need depth. They really need someone that can explore and delve deep and not shy away from intelligent, intellectual, deep, dark conversations. They want to bring darker things to the light. They want to enlighten people with knowledge here. This is somebody that loves to learn, and deeply learn at that. So they take learning seriously. You need to know that if you're trying to get with somebody with this combination. The 9th house is where we learn through experiences, and the 8th house is a deeply emotional house, Sag and Scorpio. So mixing these two together, you guys probably are on a mission and just love having deeply emotional experiences. That's probably where you learn and transform the best. Now, both these signs are also concerned with the truth. Sag is truth seeking, truth speaking. Scorpio loves the truth. They're like walking lie detectors most of the time. So they deal with the truth. They're concerned with the truth. When they're getting to know somebody, if they're dating someone, you better be aware. I'm warning you, if you're trying to get to know this person, they'll be analysing every little thing about you. How you speak, your mannerisms, how you respond to things, your intellectual depth, your emotional depth. They'll be testing all these things out, all the meanwhile considering and seeing how will you fit into my future, because Venus and Sag makes them future orientated, so they're going to be dating with intent. Venus and Scorpio sun will be dating with intent, even if they've got the Venus and Sag. They will be trying to see bigger picture long term. Or is this going to work? They'll be trying to work that out super quickly. Somebody with this combination would be a super authentic soul. They don't like superficial things, really. They're all about learning and broadening their mind and having real depth and trying to understand the hidden truths of life, like why are we here, what are we doing. It's also a super intuitive combination here, because fire is intuitive as it is in itself as an element. Just think about it. Fire gives light so that we can see, and of course water is intuitive as well. So mixing this together, you're like a walking lie detector in some way. You just are always on the lookout and detecting the slightest sign of dishonesty. When you're looking at people, you hear what they're not saying, don't you? You hear everything they're not saying. You just feel it. Have a very, very sharp antenna, basically. It's a very focused antenna, and you should use that power wisely, because this combination is a super powerful blend. Now, Scorpio is a fixed sign, but it's also the sign that deals with mass transformation. So even though it's fixed, it deals with huge transformation in every way, mentally, physically, emotionally. Sagittarius is mutable, which is all about change and spice and variety. So as a rule throughout life, you guys understand the importance of having enlightened knowledge to help you evolve and change in every way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You've probably also got two quite clear sides to your personality. You've got the controlled Scorpio, stay in the background, watch and learn, Sun expression, versus when you're in situations where you're comfortable with people and you can let your Venus and Sag out, and it's just a completely different side to you that's not so serious, basically. And you might be, this is another combination that might have to deal with that balancing act of wanting serious commitment with somebody versus wanting that freedom, because these are two signs that require independence. They demand independence and bloody love their privacy. When they are in a relationship, just know that these people are going to really need their own space and independence and time alone. Time alone is going to be important for somebody with this combination. But overall, this is somebody that can have a resilient, positive outlook on life, and it's a pessimistic optimist. You know, they have that healthy balance of being skeptical versus just giving it a go and seeing what happens. If you're a Sagittarius sun and your Venus is also in Sagittarius, then we have double fire here, double mutable, double male. Especially if you've got a male moon sign, then we are talking about someone that's going to have a more masculine nature. Now, it's always interesting when you've got a planet next to the sun, because it's going to amplify the energy of the sun. And here we have the planet of the self, which is the sun, mixing with the planet of others, which is Venus. You guys might be quite strong on the self-love front, but we are essentially mixing the self and identity with relationships and values. This would be a super optimistic person, a super open-minded person who's always on a mission to broaden their horizons and on a personal journey of growth. Always, they just want to grow and explore and be exposed to new experiences. When it comes to partnerships, you're going to love somebody to partner up with that has a zest for learning like you do, a zest for adventure and a zest to explore and expand their horizons. Someone who doesn't want to stop you or restrict you in any way, shape or form. This is the ultimate freedom loving combination here that we're talking about. Sagittarius is the forever student and the forever teacher, so they're always going to be on a path to learning, and in relationships, as I just alluded to, they're going to love someone who is in a pursuit of knowledge and a pursuit of depth. Now, the types of people that you might be attracted to or that you attract is going to be more of an extroverted person, someone who's got quite a strong personality, somebody who has that fire and passion in their belly. But also you're going to be looking for, as we said, somebody who gives you that freedom and independence. You don't do well with confinement and restrictions in relationships. Someone who's super jealous or doesn't want you to go out, doesn't want you to have fun, or someone wants to meet you and get married straight away. You're going to be like, no. Because you understand and just have a value of gaining life experience and learning new things is going to be a bit more of a priority over settling down with somebody. This would be a very spontaneous person, a risk taker, a gambler, somebody who just like, let's go and do it. They're not, you know, a spontaneous event, an unplanned event, you probably usually end up having more fun at anyway. But this is also someone that's going to be a super overindulger. Sagittarius is Jupiter ruled. This is we have double Jupiter influence here over your Sun and your Venus sign. So Venus is where we like to overindulge and Sag overindulges. This is going to be somebody that's doubly concerned with the truth, and they love the truth and they speak the truth. Quite a blunt person, I would imagine, particularly if you've got your Mercury in this sign too. That would give you a stellium first of all, but you would definitely just say whatever you want, no filter. Now, let's not ignore the fact that this is double fire that we're talking about here. And when we are talking about double fire especially, there needs to be a slight warning flag here, because fire, of course, can be angry. Any fire sun sign can have a fiery expression or express anger. Now, adding Venus into the mix here is amplifying that energy. So you're probably quite aware by now that when you can have explosive tendencies, or if you do lose it, you can probably go quite over the top and say some things that you didn't mean to say, that was a little bit too mean, even for a double Sag was a bit too mean. So self-awareness is definitely going to be key here with this sign. But overall, this is going to be a fun, loving, adventure-seeking, thrill-seeking, open-minded, free-spirited soul. If you're a Capricorn sun and your Venus is in Sagittarius, then we are mixing earth and fire, cardinal and mutable, and male and female. So we've got a mix here of introverted and extroverted. Both of these signs are very independent energies. Capricorn is independent in its own right, and so is Sag. This is someone that is super duper independent, and you're probably going to carry those typical Capricorn sun sign traits of being hardworking and ambitious and quite frugal. But having that Venus and Sag is going to give you this different side to your personality, where you've actually got quite a fiery side that's not so structured, and quite a generous side, especially in relationships, is where you're probably more generous with what you have, and you'd be turned off by someone that doesn't appreciate your generosity, or if they're too frugal and not generous with you. We are mixing the influence of Jupiter and Saturn here, so of course they carry very different messages. They have very different energies, don't they? Jupiter is boundless, it doesn't have boundaries, and Saturn is restrictions. So it's like, they speak different languages. But of course, billions of people over the history of time have been born with these configurations, so of course it works. I mean, Jupiter Saturn, actually no, hang on, I won't say that bit yet, I'll say that bit at the very, very end. But Jupiter Saturn, mixing that together, you guys are the ones that can bring your big ideas, bring the big Sag visions into reality, give it some grounding, give it some structure. Think of the pyramids. The Egyptian pyramids, that's Jupiter and Saturn, that's huge vision, and then the structure and the practicality to actually make something work. So this is quite a powerhouse combination. You may identify with being responsible and logical and structured, but you also value variety and not being structured, and the art of just dreaming big and not caring about the details. You have these two different sides that are at play here, and there's probably a constant balancing act that you guys have to manage between being ambitious and wanting to follow a plan of being goal orientated versus just wanting to be free spirited and go off an adventure and do something random. You probably have another balancing act going on of wanting commitment and long-term commitment in a relationship, again, versus that freedom and wanting to explore. And also, when it does come to relationships and you are in relationships, it's probably only going to work when you're allowed your freedom to have your time and independent time alone to yourself, basically, to personally grow and personally explore and travel. And it's not always about physically traveling, it's just mentally traveling. Even just, you need that time and space. You can't have someone that you would have to mother. You're also probably not attracted to a loud, brash type person, and also probably not attracted to someone that's going to draw negative attention to you, especially if you're out in public, because, you know, Capricorn, you are conscious about your image. But overall, this is a complete powerhouse blend of energies that we have here. Capricorn's all about power and authority, and Sagittarius deals with the whole of the world. You could have super powerful global connections here. But what I was going to say to the end, to say to you guys, Jupiter Saturn aspects are the millionaire aspects in a chart. So the influence in these two together, you guys have serious power to manifest. You should be practicing the art of manifestation, bringing your big dreams into the reality. If you're an Aquarius sun and your Venus is in Sagittarius, then we are mixing air and fire, fixed and mutable, and they are both male energies. So especially if you've got a male moon sign, then we are talking about a more masculine person here. It's quite a complementary mix of energies because Sagittarius and Aquarius have got quite a lot in common, really. And check the degrees of your sun and your Venus. Are they sextile to each other? Because it's just going to enhance everything that I'm saying. But both signs are connected with the collective, with worldly events. Both signs are connected to humanitarian topics. This is a humanitarian person. These are not people that are necessarily concerned with finding the one, and are more here really to learn and explore. These people like new experiences. They like to have new things. They're both about adventures. They're both about finding deep, meaningful knowledge. They would also be super independent. Mixing these two together, Aquarius is very, very independent and requires time alone. Time alone. Venus in Sag also requires time alone and is also a very independent as an energy. So you wouldn't really do very well with a jealous, clingy partner that didn't have their own interests, that wanted to be joined with you at the hip, that didn't understand when you just need to have your society break and you don't want to talk to anyone for a few days, or that person that's side-eyeing you every time your phone's popping off because you Aquarius suns are very well connected, have many friends. You know, and if you had a partner that wanted like, who's that, you'd be like, honestly, this isn't going to work, because when it comes to dating, you're probably not dating with the intent, as I said, to like really settle down with somebody. You like to just kind of keep your options open. You like new experiences. You enjoy being around people that are different, that are alternative. You might even have an alternative lifestyle yourself, or an alternative relationship that's not of the norm, because both signs, I'd say, are a little bit unconventional here. I mean, Aquarius is very unconventional, and Sagittarius doesn't necessarily care about rules either too much. So this person will break free from any restriction that somebody tries to impose on them, because they value their right to their independence as a human on this earth. They just, I'm saying all that, guys, because if you're trying to get to know someone with this placement, like, it's really important to give them their space. And I'm saying this, I'm a Sag Sun Aquarius moon, so I really get this combination together. Time and space is needed. Both signs are concerned with finding out the bigger meaning of life and the truth of things. These are going to be very truthful, authentic people that hate fakery or superficial stuff in any way. These people like to keep it all the way real. Both signs are very much concerned with learning and higher knowledge, and not just learning the high knowledge, it's sharing that wisdom with the world. Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. It's represented by the water bearer, sharing knowledge with the world. Sag, sharing knowledge with the world. You guys are here to spread knowledge. You should be on YouTube. I'm sure you've got so many interesting things to say, and you'd be attracting Sagittarius, wouldn't you? Venus and Sag. You're going to be attracting the people too that are going to want to listen about your stories. You probably guys, I can imagine the stories you guys must have. Fantastic storytellers, because you just would have had such diverse experiences and been around diverse people and have such diverse thoughts, particularly if you've got your Mercury in either one of these signs. If your Mercury's in Aquarius or your Mercury's in Sag, you can have a broad mindset, broad perspectives, deep contemplation. Now, I will say this combination might make for somebody that has a bit of a God complex. Aquarius are known for having a bit of a God complex, and Sagittarius are known for being really preachy. So it just might be that you can be quite righteous really with your opinions, and being an Aquarius sun is a fixed sun, so there's of course an element of stubbornness that comes in there. But you know, unless you are having that conversation with somebody that you find new data and new information that gives you enlightenment, that allows you to think another way, but you can have a bit of a God complex there. No shade, because I have I'm a Sag Sun Aquarius moon, as I just said. The future is going to be really important as well here to somebody with this combination, because both signs deal with contemplating future events, and we are mixing fire and air. Air is about thinking and communicating, and fire is expressive as an element. So this is going to be a communicative person. Aquarius can talk the hind legs off a donkey anyway, especially adding Venus into Sag. But also, please be warned, for somebody who's trying to get to know somebody with this combination, as much as an Aquarius Sun, Venus in Sag is going to love to talk, as I've already said, they're going to really like their alone time, and sometimes they won't want to talk for a couple of days, and don't take it personally. It's just like a little society break thing that they need to have to recharge. And also, this is a combination here that could be quite more open-minded to the more unconventional relationships, such as polyamory, or just, you know, an open relationship whereby you're not confined or restricted to just that one person. That might be something that you guys might be more likely to freely explore, especially in the age of 2023. But overall, it's definitely an interesting combination. These two together, it's deep, it's complex, and there's a lot of nuances that go into this combination. But you are here on a path of learning and knowledge, and you should definitely be sharing that with the world. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. That was my breakdown video of the Sun sign, Venus sign combinations. Have you guys got any stories you want to share with me? I love hearing from you guys. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel if you liked any of my content here today. And if you liked the video, then please drop a like on the video. And coming up next, it's going to be Venus in Capricorn. So we'll see you in my next video.